Hey, it's Ella. Thank you for being here with me. So I have not been super consistent on making videos every day since I got back, and so I wanted to address that right away. Um, I actually meant to make one yesterday, and then the day got away from me. Something, I don't remember exactly what. Oh, now I remember. Yeah, something came up, and then yeah, I got totally derailed, so it just didn't happen. Um, I feel like I am pretty much over the jet lag. I've been back for, today is the seventh day that I've been back. And actually, I was counting the days on the calendar because I have been extremely vigilant about um, just my potential exposure to coronavirus. You know, traveling back from Bali and going through Hong Kong and LA and Dallas. Three stopping points, and you know, during which many people were, I mean, I could I could hear many people coughing, that dry cough. So, um, you know, I just did the best I could and washed my hands to the point where they were bleeding and cracked and raw, regardless of how much lotion I would then put on my hands, because then I'd have to wash my hands right away again anyway for touching something else, you know. This is a, I mean, it's pretty exhausting to be, you know, having to deal with all this, but you know, just trying to think of the greater good. But also, it's important to note that even though I am actually off of all medications, partially because I don't have health insurance, partially because, well, and that's because I don't have any income right now. Yay, fun. Excellent time to be trying to start a new business, or start a new career. Yeah, perfect timing. So, anyway, um, yeah, where was I going with that? So anyway, I am, to my knowledge at least, uh, pretty healthy. However, in the past, about 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with chronic asthma. I had always had exercise-induced asthma as a child. It was just undiagnosed. And then I would have I would sometimes have asthmatic symptoms if I did really rigorous exercise. But then I got sick and this is when I was living in New England, and I got sick, and it actually turned into bronchitis, and then it turned into pneumonia, as it does, just like that, when you have, when your lungs are not totally healthy. So at that point, it's like I could not shake it. I could not get better. I couldn't rest because I was coughing so much. It was a rough time, and that I was sick with that for I want to say like 6 or 8 weeks. It was a long time, and so anyway, from that point forward, I had chronic asthma, and so my lungs were always at a severe deficit. I had to use rescue inhaler. For a long time, I had to use a rescue inhaler every day. And I also would use a long-term inhaler, a steroid inhaler called Advair. I literally was on Advair for, gosh, I don't even remember now, 15 years. And I haven't used the Advair daily inhaler. I mean, I haven't used an inhaler of any kind in probably 5 years. I still have some just in case, because there are times where my lungs are like, I do start to wheeze. So basically I appear to be healthy. By all appearances, I'm healthy. But I have this pesky little chronic asthma thing. And it's so well under control that I actually don't need any medications for it, and haven't needed any medications for it for a while. Like I said, I still have some Advair, and I just, I'm just extremely careful if I notice that my breath is wheezing, that my lungs are wheezing. But knowing what I've come from with that, and the fact that, I have had to go to the hospital because I literally could not breathe, which is, it's absolutely terrifying. I can't tell you how many, I don't know, it's traumatic to think about it, to put myself back in that time frame where I had to use the rescue inhaler multiple times a day because my lungs just would not stay open, and they just would not stay functional. So anyway, that was a really long tangent. All that to say that I am an at-risk person. So it's extremely dangerous for me to be exposed to coronavirus. That said, I've been taking every precaution that I know to take. I've been making sure to take all multivitamins, well, not multivitamins, all of the vitamins that I take, including lots of vitamin C, drinking hot. So I'm doing everything that I know to do, including not going anywhere. So the only place that I have been since I returned from Bali is to the boarding place where Brianna, my cat, was in boarding. That's the only, and I literally didn't make any stops before I picked her up or after. So, so I have had no other contact with people besides that since then, except for my housemate, my friend that I'm staying with. And he actually, when I got back, he was not feeling well. So he actually left and stayed elsewhere for several days until he felt better enough to be here, to be back under the same roof. So, and both of us have been taking a lot of precautions of just like spraying Lysol and, just disinfecting everything and constantly washing hands and all that kind of stuff, because even though both of us have had very limited physical proximity, let alone contact with other people, there's always a chance, and now especially since an article came out literally today, that it is airborne. Yay. So it can actually live in the air for up to 3 hours. So that means that someone could be passed through a space, cough, or otherwise, spread their germs into the air, and it literally will still be in the air as people are walking past. This is mainly indoors, right? So that is terrifying, honestly. For someone like me, especially, I have no income, I have no money, I have no health insurance. If I get it, I'm screwed, potentially. Who knows? Maybe I would just get a light case of it, but that's really not a risk that I would like to take. Thank you very much. I also, anyway, so we're taking a lot of precautions over here, and it is exhausting. Let me tell you. But it's better to be safe than sorry, it really is. So it's just not worth it's just not worth risking more lives than are already going to be at risk. So anyway, that's about all I have to say about that for now anyway. Also, I did my first full-on yoga practice since my return yesterday. So I did a full hour and a half of yoga, and it was mostly a vinyasa. So it was, essentially it was a vinyasa, which all vinyasa means is that the pose that you are currently in, you find a way to connect it to the next pose that you're going to. That's really all that means. And so in most people's minds who have any familiarity with yoga, vinyasa means like you basically are in a pose for one breath or less. That's not how I vinyasa. I like to take my time, and for me personally, and actually I got some really nice accolades from the master teacher that I took my training with, but he actually commended me for not doing a flow. Like all of the poses were, there was a flow to it, but I had 15 minutes basically for my sequence, and how many poses you can fit in a 15-minute slot? There are a lot potentially. Okay, you can potentially fit lots of poses in there. I had five poses. So we held each pose, and granted, all of them had, left side and right side. So technically it was 10, but yeah, we held the poses so that you could really have time to test your alignment, to make sure that you were, that your arms were at the correct, height and placement, and your everything. Just always just checking the alignment, and to really make sure that you're taking full advantage of what the pose has to offer you. So, and yeah, there's going to be some burn to that, and it's a really good burn. So anyway, I did my first full vinyasa yesterday. It felt so good. Oh my God. Truthfully, before that, I had done little things here and there, little legs up the wall, or a little, joint freeing exercises, little things like that, just to kind of keep my body engaged. But I was so exhausted that I just couldn't do a full vinyasa. So doing that yesterday was wonderful. It completely reset my whole mood, my whole day, because I was really angry and feeling some kind of way about a bunch of different things. And so it just completely reset everything, and which is, that's always a good thing, right? So today I did not do a vinyasa really. I started with a series that that's as taught to us is called the joint freeing series. And then I went into some sun salutations. And then I actually went into just going back through poses. Like I got out my book, my training manual, and went through some different poses that are super challenging for me, because I want to, I really want to learn how to get into those poses well, and how to be in those poses well, so that I can teach them well. That's really important to me. So that's kind of what I focused on today, and I ended up doing, and it was really fun, honestly. And I ended up feeling compelled to do some balancing poses, like it's often called half moon, but I don't have any idea why. But basically, you have one leg standing, and the rest of your body is like horizontal, with your arm straight up in the air and the other arm is down. Either if you can touch the ground, great, and if not, then you put your hand on a block. So it's a challenging pose because your hips need to be stacked so that they are basically perpendicular to the ground. So, and that is, for me, that's the hardest part, is getting those hips, properly aligned. And I am not yet able to do it without using the wall for support. And using the wall is perfectly okay. But that's it's a serious balance builder. It also stretches the hamstrings, and it just, I'm definitely going to be feeling it tomorrow. It's going to be good. So I also focused on Warrior 3, another one that's really challenging for me to do. And so that one's also balancing on one leg. So worked on that one. And then I was like, okay, now I just want to do some inversions. So I did like a wide leg forward bend, and I just love that. It feels so good. And then I actually practiced my headstand setup. Okay, my shoulders are not limber and strong enough yet to support my weight in a headstand. So, and I'm not talking about actually putting all my weight on my head, by the way. I'm talking about a headstand where you tuck your head basically like this. So the weight of your body is actually here on your forearms. Okay. So, and I've talked about this some before, but it's absolutely terrifying for me to be upside down. I really don't know why. But I tried headstand prep. That's what it's called. Headstand prep today. I just was like, I'm going to try it. I need to practice this. I want to do it, And so I tried it the first couple times, and then the tears started to come. And that can happen. It can happen at any time when you are practicing yoga, because yoga releases emotion from your body. It releases tension and emotions that you've been holding on to and stuffing. So, so I started crying, and then all of a sudden I was just like, I just really want this. I really want to be able to do this. I really want to be strong enough to do this, and I'm going to get there. And then I tried it a third time, and I got further along than I've ever gotten before. So it's progress. It's progress. So it feels really good to be just focusing on my own yoga practice right now, but also with the lens of knowing how deeply I am compelled to teach others, and how important it is for me to have a very thorough, solid understanding of every pose that I am going to teach. I have so much to learn. I really do. I have so much to learn. Oh my God. And I look forward to learning all of it, It's so fun to make progress. It's fun. Whoops. I had my leg all folded up. It's really fun to make progress and to feel stronger and better in my body, And I just knew that I was going to be super sore today from yesterday's yoga, because I was really focusing on my arms, and because I really want to get my arms stronger. And I'm also focusing on my wrists, trying to get them more limber because I have carpal tunnel and I have a lot of wrist pain when I'm putting my own body weight on my wrist. Part of that is because I'm heavy, that there's a lot of me to hold up. But part of that is because I do have bad carpal tunnel, and it just hurts to put weight, so anyway, there are things that you can do, yoga moves, if you will, that actually help your wrist. There are multiple things you can do. And so I'm doing those every day because I am determined to have healthy wrists. I want all of my joints to be super healthy because right now they're not. And in the history in my family is that everybody has terrible joints, just rickety, and no lubrication in the joints whatsoever, especially the knees and the wrists and the shoulders, even, for that matter. So so I feel determined to work on that for myself, and super excited that I can offer that to other people too. It's amazing to me. I learned so much about how yoga can heal your body if you do it the right way, with a teacher that you can trust, and with a teacher who understands, what's going on. With someone who can actually meet you where you are in your body, and then help you to just feel better in your own body. I mean, that's pretty amazing, I think. I get emotional just thinking about it. So, oh my goodness. There's so much else that I could say, but the video is already kind of getting long. So, and plus my video just randomly stopped. So I have to go connect it using a program. Anyway, I'm just babbling now. And I'm also coming kind of close to running out of video space. So, anyway, the general consensus of feelings and just what's going on in our world right now, there's just so much fear and so much terror and anxiety, and it's really hard not to feel that. It's really hard to stay steady, amongst all of that. And so, as someone who was kind of forced to not feel, or to at least not appear to have feelings for the first part of my life, I would say that it's really important to allow yourself to feel your feelings. And you don't have to let them own you. In meditation, we learn that you allow the feelings to be there, because feelings are going to be there. We are feeling creatures. We feel a lot and all the time. So feelings are going to be there. The challenge is, can you become an observer of your feelings and observe the feelings as something that is not you, so that then you are the observer, you are not the feelings. So and then the really challenging part, if you can separate and become the observer of your feelings, is to say Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. I love you. Because our feelings are giving us messages. Our feelings are trying to tell us something. So if we can observe the feelings from a place of compassion, or even just curiosity. If you can't quite get to compassion, that's okay. Compassion is not easy. But maybe curiosity of like, what's that about? And exploring that. Then it's extremely powerful, and it can and will change your life, and it will change your outlook on life. So anyway, got a little preachy there at the end. Sorry. Okay. I just want to close by saying, and I really mean this. I don't know, I guess I'm weepy this afternoon. You are loved. You are fully supported. And you are never alone. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'll see you tomorrow.